Sun on the crawl, hands twitching on the wheel, engines rumble, feel the fire in my bones. I'm back in the saddle, strapped in tight, crank it up and let the green flag fly. One deep breath and I ain't looking back. We're holding on, we ain't slowing down. If we spin, if we slide, we keep it pedal to the metal. I was born wide open, meant to ride that line from the wall to the infield grass, from the green to the checkered flag, living like every lap's our last. Three wide, one to go. Checkered flag hanging low, anything to cross that line.
Welcome in to Kentucky Speedway under the lights here for the second race of the Starburst National Tour. And as we get ready to go racing here for 107 laps under the lights from Kentucky Speedway, the first mile and a half on the schedule this season, and we've got 40 drivers looking to go to victory lane here tonight. And 39 of them looking for their first career wins. Aiden Frost, we know, the winner of the Starburst 200 last week. He'll be looking to try and go back-to-back to start out the season. But some key names tonight. Connor Vale in the number 08 has stepped away from the team, and it's allowed YouTube alerts to pull in, and he will drive the 08 for the rest of the season. And they've also announced if Ruben Sparkles ever was to get injured, he will be that fill-in driver of the number 18. And then also, Mason Reddick is out for the next 2 weeks with a concussion, so Wyatt Mercer, driver of the 27, will fill in for him, and then Blake Arrows will fill in for his teammate of Owen Strickland, who as well is out with a concussion for this week. But here we go, 107 laps into the start zone, and we are officially green. We're underway in the KFC 160 in Kentucky. Down to turn one for the first time, your pole sitter Cade Winslow leads them into 1 and 2. Here for the first time, Troy Sanderson right on his bumper as they come up off of turn 2 for the first time. Now it'll take a couple laps for the field to spread out, but they will get spread out here as they enter 3 and 4 for the first time. Mainly just 2x2 as they come up off of turn 4, but it's going to be Cade Winslow and the 99 team leading lap number 1 here tonight from Kentucky. Early on, going to try and get single file 3 wide, though, coming up off of 2 here. Brandon Kessler on the top of 3. Milo Harrington is there. Noah Renwick down the back straightaway. Up front, though, Troy Sanderson going to the inside of Cade Winslow. Or at least he's trying to. And these two are teammates at Heartline Motorsports. It's a Heartline Motorsports 1-2 right now, Winslow and Sanderson. Jordan Pike now pulls to the inside of Drayton, and Sanderson going after his teammate of Winslow. Can Sanderson get there, though, as they come up off of turn 2? It's going to be very interesting here. You see just behind him as Sanderson will get to the lead. That's the 34, Blake Arrows filling in for Owen Strickland. Blake Arrows running now 3rd in this opening part of the race. You got Seth Rollins up here, YouTube alerts running in the top 5. How about this for the 08 team? Good run early. Cade Winslow down to 2nd from his pole position spot. They're 3 wide in the back there. I think that's Marcus Holloway. He started on the front row here tonight, and he is dropping way back early. The 2 Lehman Monaco Motorsport cars up in the top 10 right now. Both started outside the top 20. Both are now inside the top 10, so a great start to the night for them. But the first 4 laps in the books here. Troy Sanderson, we know, dominated really early on in Daytona. Looking to do the same here tonight. You see all the way already up front Wyatt Mercer as well, filling in that number 2 car. He's up here in the top 10. He's got Jake Lehman just behind him. Well, maybe for how long, because here comes Jake Lehman, 3 wide into 3 and 4. An aggressive dive to the bottom. Eli Drayton on the top of 3. Had to check up a little bit off of 4, and it's going to cost him a lot of time. But Seth Rollins now starting to get on the bumper of the 99 of Cade Winslow. Jake Lehman up into the top 5 all of a sudden. What a start for this 88 car. Seth Rollins going for second on Cade Winslow now into 3 and 4. Now this race will go by pretty quick. And Winslow up the track could open the door for Noah Renwick, who we didn't see much of at Daytona until late on. And we are under caution. Oh, big crash! Riley Maddox, Jace Torrance, Marcus Holloway, Brandon Kessler, and Milo Harrington. Big crash. Heavy damage from Marcus Holloway on just lap 7. What has happened here? And that looks like a heavy hit for Holloway. Riley Maddox is in it for Red Wave Racing. He was upside down at Daytona. 2 Prime Line Motorsport cars and Milo Harrington and Jace Torrance get caught up in it. Brandon Kessler as well involved. Kessler we knew was in the big one at Daytona. And early chaos here as it looks like a heavy crash for some of these guys. And I mean, Marcus Holloway started the race on the front row and was dropping way in the back early on, and now he gets involved in a big crash here. Gonna see the guys involved, Brandon Kessler, Harrington, all these 5 drivers involved all come into the pits here. And I think it's gonna be race ending for a couple of these guys, especially Marcus Holloway. Heartbreak for the 21 team. But early caution here from Kentucky on just lap number 7. But we'll go and get a replay of what has happened here in this to cause the first caution of the night. So here's what happened to Marcus Holloway. Now I think they wreck in front of him, and Holloway just nowhere to go. Heavy hit for the 21 car, and then the 95 slides back up into him. But we'll get some onboard views of what has happened. Here's what happened to Milo Harrington. Riley Maddox lunges at Harrington, and they come together, and the 2 Toyotas slide up the track and just hits to the wall, and then yeah, just nowhere for some of these guys to go. Brandon Kessler doesn't look like he got too much damage in the 6, maybe just a little bit of damage. But as they enter 3 and 4, Harrington on the high side trying to jump to the bottom. You feel he gets hooked by Maddox there, and then kind of right there gets it, and then a hit to the wall down the track. Now Harrington is going to have some rear end damage if they decide to continue. And here's Riley Maddox is on board. You see Harrington just there, comes down into Maddox. Maddox also came up a little bit, it looks like. And they slide up the track into the wall. Pretty heavy hits. Drift down and then boom! Maddox for the 2nd week in a row gets involved in a big hit there. I see Kessler here, they're wrecking up in front of him. And Kessler just nowhere to really go. I mean, doesn't look like there's actual damage on the cars. Someone shot down into the grass. And last but not least, there's Jace Torrance is on board here in the 95 car. He's kind of in the back of this. He just gets collected into it. And then there's nowhere for the 95 to go. But surprisingly enough, nobody is out of the race. Even if they were involved in that. Marcus Holloway's taking the front end off. Maddox, you can see damage. Harrington, Torrance repaired any damage he had. Same with Kessler. But we're going to get ready to go back racing here. We're going to have 97 to go when we go back racing. Now, pit stops, you can do about 60 laps on fuel before you have to make a pit stop. So just keep that in mind. But first caution of the night comes early with a pretty big wreck, but all 40 cars still running and all on the lead lap. This is going to be an interesting restart here. How will Troy Sanderson do in this 41 car? He's got Seth Rollins on the front row with him. And up off of turn 4, pace car peels into the pits and into the restart zone. And the green flag is waving. We're back underway from Kentucky. 97 to go. And Seth Rollins immediately to the race lead here, but can he hold it into turns 1 and 2? I don't know if he will. Sanderson's there, but actually Rollins is up high. They're side by side up off of turn 2 and down the back straightaway. Noah Renwick, where can the 75 car go here into 3 and 4? Jake Lehman's right there. YouTube alerts up in the top 5 as they head through 3 and 4. But it's going to be Sanderson leading, but here comes the 75, Noah Renwick at the line. going to the inside, and Noah Renwick looking for the lead. Jake Lehman going with him. Three wide in the back, but it's Renwick leading Lehman and Sanderson. Here comes Christopher Jenkins in the 32 car running in fourth. Wyatt Mercer getting up here. But it's Noah Renwick leading here from Kentucky. YouTube Alert's leading that high side lane here. He's got Seth Rollins just up behind him. As up off of turn 2, still 2 wide throughout the pack. Not really any 3 wide until you get towards the way back of the field. Up front, Christopher Jenkins going after Troy Sanderson for third now. Sanderson starting to drop back. Seth Rollins could be looking 3 wide up off of 4. YouTube Alert's up the racetrack in the 08 car. As they cross the start-finish line, 13 laps in the books here. Still 3 wide as they enter 1 and 2. Cade Winslow in the 99 part of it. See Dave Leclerc on the bottom there making his way towards the front. Christopher Jenkins trying to run down your leaders. But up front, Jake Lehman could have a shot here into 3 and 4 to take the lead on Noah Renwick. Not quite there yet, though, is that number 88. Kind of single file. Dave Leclerc now up into the top 10 as he gets by Seth Rollins. As we run you through the field here, 3 wide. Chase Dandridge of Ali Rain and the 11 of Jordan Pike. Ryder Holt up the racetrack there. You see the damage is affecting some of them, but not really a whole ton of them. Up front, Jake Lehman to the lead here in Kentucky at the end of lap 15. And it's the 88 for Lehman Monaco Motorsports leading. And here comes Christopher Jenkins in the 32 up the inside as well. And Jenkins up to second. Now can he put the fight onto Jake Lehman as they come up off of turn 2. And now Troy Sanderson as well. Gonna try and get past Noah Renwick here into 3 and 4. How about Wyatt Mercer running in 5th place in this Coca-Cola number 2? Good run here for the 2, battling for 4th place. Ethan Crow is up here in the 54 car. Strong run for him so far in this one. And now Sanderson could have maybe a shot to go after Christopher Jenkins. Up off of turn 2, but it's Jake Lehman leading. They're 3 wide. The 2 Menard Tech cars going at it as they enter 3 and 4. Battle for the last spot in the top 10, Tanner Voss, and that would be Blake Arrows filling in the 34 car, battling it out for 10th place. There you see the heavy damage on the 21 of Marcus Holloway. You can see no hood or front bumper, just the engine is so exposed on that 21 car. He's hoping he doesn't get another wreck, because that could be not deadly, but it can be big of a crash. See Tiger Tom making his way up towards the front in the 25, having a strong run with just under 80 to go now. 79 laps to the checkered flag. No, 89 laps to the checkered, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 89 laps to the checkered. I don't know where I got 79 from, but it is all right now Jake Lehman leading the way as they enter 3 and 4. Jake Lehman, he was part of that big wreck in Daytona. As we just run through the field here looking to see any chaos now. But we go back to Daytona, and Jake Lehman in the 88 car would end up in the top 20. It was a solid run. We saw him throughout the night, throughout the day in Daytona. Haven't really seen him though tonight in Kentucky until now, but you can see Christopher Jenkins all over him. Jenkins in Daytona got 27th. It was a rough outing for Christopher Jenkins as he got involved in that wreck. He is running second and maybe could be looking to take the lead here, and he will. Here comes Christopher Jenkins into 1 and 2, trying to take the lead from Jake Lehman, and Christopher Jenkins looking to take the lead for the first time this season. Side by side down the back straightaway here. And could Troy Sanderson or Wyatt Mercer try and get involved? They're side by side in the 3 and 4. And Jenkins is clear up off of 4. Here comes Troy Sanderson on the 88 car of Jake Lehman down the front straightaway. And Lehman's going to drop a couple of spots here in the 88. He's stuck up high. His teammate Eric Monaco running 6th. Sean Vickers, Ethan Crow. Voss still the last man in the top 10 as it is single file here for the majority of this lead pack. Oh, Wyatt Mercer got close there to Troy Sanderson. And Wyatt Mercer now up to second. How about Red Wave Racing picking up Wyatt Mercer? And Noah Renwick now trying to get to the bottom. He's there. Noah Renwick looking to the inside through 1 and 2, but it's Mercer hanging on. But we talked about it. Wyatt Mercer, he did not make the Starburst 200 at Daytona, and Mason Reddick is out for the next 2 weeks. So he's out for this week in Kentucky, and he's also out next week at Bristol. He will make his return at Road America after. So for the first road course race of the season, he'll return. Owen Strickland in the 34 car, he will return next week in Bristol. As here comes Renwick to the bottom into 3 and 4 on the 2 of Wyatt Mercer, and Noah Renwick back up to second place. But it's right now all Christopher Jenkins up out in front of this thing. Lehman is just continuing to drop back now. He's down to 10th place as Tanner Voss gets up past the 88. So Lehman, who's just leading not too long ago, has dropped all the way to 10th. That is how quickly things get shuffled here. As now Eric Monaco finds his way up past the 2, the Red Wave Racing 2. And now the teammate to Wyatt Mercer this weekend, Sean Vickers. As now Ethan Crow going to take them 3 wide. Ethan Crow, we know that 54 car in Daytona. He finished 19th. It was a solid day for Ethan Crow in that 54 team. And they're back this weekend once again, running up in the top 5 right now. And Seth Rollins going with them. The Red Wave Racing car stuck up high. Tanner Voss, Jake Lehman. But we're going to take you on a lap around here from Kentucky. And we're going to take it on... We're going to take it on last week's winner of Aiden Frost here in the 17. Obviously, he's not having the run he kind of wants right now, running outside the top 25, top 30. He's running in 30th. Not at all where he wants to be right now, but it is still early here tonight from Kentucky. But we'll take you on board for a lap here from Kentucky. You can see it's a beautiful night here in Sparta, Kentucky for the second race of the Starburst National Tour season. And you can just see how the lanes these guys are running, how they're running the lanes. And Aiden Frost, you can see just running in 29th right now as he'll cross the line in 29th place. Now Tyler Carroll going after Jace Torrance. Torrance was just involved in that wreck early on in this race. He's falling back, or he's making his way through the field a little bit here. Unlike the other drivers who were involved in that wreck, they're kind of still back there. Caleb Wheeler started last. He's running up here inside the top 25 right now, running in... Actually, no, he's just around that top 25 in the 94 car. But back up front, it is right now Christopher Jenkins not leading anymore. Noah Renwick finds himself now leading here from Kentucky. 75 back to the point. This is Blue Oval Blue Oval Performance Group. That 5-car team, they have found themselves out in front here from Kentucky. Obviously, we know the drivers for Blue Oval: Jordan Pike, Dave Leclerc, Aiden Frost, Jasper Quinn, and Noah Renwick. Aiden Frost won Daytona. What did it mean to go back-to-back for this team if Noah Renwick could go to victory lane? But right now, it's Ford versus Chevy up at the front. 2 Fords and 2 Chevys, and then there's a little bit of a gap to the Toyotas behind, which is Seth Rollins and Sean Vickers. Jake Lehman's found himself back to 7th. 31 laps in the books here from Kentucky. And they are going to catch lap traffic pretty soon with the 21 of Marcus Holloway. The damage is starting to affect him. As Jenkins to the bottom, looking for the lead once again. Coming up to complete lap number 32. And it's Christopher Jenkins who's going to take the lead back from Noah Renwick. But Jenkins started 10th. He has a really strong car tonight, it looks like. Did well in qualifying the other day, and he is looking strong, leading the pack here in Kentucky. That's mainly all single file. It's kind of calmed down from what we saw early in this race. But we'll give you a live update of the top 10 here. Christopher Jenkins, we know, leading. Noah Renwick sits in the second spot. Troy Sanderson, Eric Monaco, and Seth Rollins, your top 5. Then you've got Jake Lehman, Sean Vickers, Wyatt Mercer, YouTube Alerts, and Simi Javel running inside the top 10 here so far in the KFC 160 at Kentucky. But you can see 3 Red Wave racing cars in this top 10. The only one not in the top 10 is Riley Maddox, but he was involved in that wreck on lap number 7 of the race. But 34 laps in the books here from Kentucky so far, and it's all Christopher Jenkins up out in front of this thing. Fastest lap is Jake Lehman in the 88 car. Big run through 1 and 2 for Noah Renwick. He could have a shot here into 3 and 4. No, he's not quite there yet. Further back though, Wyatt Mercer on his teammate of Sean Vickers for the 7th position. And Wyatt Mercer will get up past him, and it opens door now for YouTube Alerts in the 08 car to try and get past. And he as well gets up past the 9 of Sean Vickers. Now his teammate Simi Javel could have a shot to get up into 9th place in this race. He's there. And they're going to be side by side down the front, down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Yeah, it's all single file here through the majority of this field. The Chevrolets, Sanderson and Monaco starting to catch up here to the Fords a little bit. But all 40 cars still running and on the lead lap for now. Sean Vickers continuing to drop back. Jake Lehman pulls out a line on Seth Rollins. This 88 car is another car that looks really strong tonight. Now up into the top 5 once again. But we are going to cross the line to complete lap number 37. We've got 70 to go here from Kentucky. Now you see the 2-car Wyatt Mercer on the bottom of Seth Rollins as well. YouTube Alerts, Marissa Semethi on the top of 3, or on the top side back there. Alerts all over the bumper of Mercer. But they're going to catch Holloway really soon as they're starting to get a little spread out. Here comes YouTube Alerts to the bottom, trying to get by. They're going to be 3 wide as Simi Javel on the very bottom of 3 into 1 and 2. And YouTube Alerts in the middle of a Red Wave Racing sandwich off of turn 2. But he clears the 2 of Mercer. Unless Mercer tries to sneak it back to the middle, which he doesn't. But how about the 4? Simi Javel, didn't see much of him in Daytona. He ended the night in 20th. It was a calm night for him, didn't see him much at all. But he's now found himself in the 6th position here after just 39 laps. Seth Rollins in the 31, we knew he led the most laps in Daytona. He led about 22, I'm pretty sure, in the end. He is running up in the top 10 as well once again. Back up front still Christopher Jenkins leading the way. Lehman has, I think, one of if not the fastest car in the field. But another guy we saw a little bit of in Daytona, not a whole ton, Dave Leclerc in that 13 car. He was strong at Daytona, didn't really get the speed in the end as he was involved in chaos. He was involved in that big one. Leclerc in Daytona ended up 26th in the end. Looking to have a better run tonight, and he's right now having a better run, sitting in the 14th position right now. Up off turn 4, Wyatt Mercer on Seth Rollins. Back up front though, the 2 Lehman Monaco Motorsport cars could start to go at it, as Eric Monaco and Jake Lehman battling it out for 4th here. Big run for Lehman. And here we go, Marcus Holloway. Where do you go for Christopher Jenkins or your race leaders? How do you manage this 21 car? This is the first time this year the leaders are dealing with lap traffic. We saw none of it at Daytona. So this is going to be interesting. Jenkins leads. Renwick will go through as well. No issues there. You're going to see the damage on Marcus Holloway here, as he's kind of come down in front of the fellow Chevrolets. Sanderson, Monaco trying to make easy work. Monaco actually tucks up behind him there for a moment. But looks like the top 5 are all going to get past Holloway without issue. as YouTube alerts back through into 7th place in the number 08. 43 laps in the books. Here comes Eric Monaco and Jake Lehman going to try and follow through into 1 and 2, but they just can't quite get to Troy Sanderson. As Jenkins continuing to lead, and it's allowing Noah Renwick to just follow through. Battling in the background here, Wyatt Mercer in the 2, Ethan Crow back up here in the top 10, running in 8th place in the 54 car. Seth Rollins as well. Simi Javel going to get by the 21 without any issue. So Simi Javel running 6th and is actually catching up here to your leaders. 1.8 back he is off of the race leader in this number 4 car. But still no caution since lap number 2 of this race. Rollins is gotten by Crow, and there's a couple of guys now up on the top there. And that bottom lane is the preferred lane. Tiger Tom starting to go backwards in the 25 car, up off of turn 4. Leclerc going to take it 3 wide on the bottom here of Mercer and Crow into 1 and 2. And Crow gets shuffled out the most. But pit stop should be just around the corner, as there's a big pack here back there, and I think when they catch Holloway, it could maybe be an issue. Next car for the leaders to catch will be the 8 of Riley Maddox, and then Brandon Kessler as well. 3 wide up off of turn 4, Jace Torrance, Phoenix Calder, Tyler Carroll throughout the night, throughout the day so far. Holloway still up high there in the 21. Really letting the leaders, or letting this pack get by him without any issue so far. But so far, so good here from Kentucky tonight. And as we complete lap 47, 60 to go, we'll take you to a Starburst National Tour style crank it up here from Kentucky. All right, but we're back here from Kentucky. 51 laps in the books. 56 to go here from Kentucky in the KFC 160. And someone who's run down your leaders here a little bit, Simi Jabel, is now in this battle for the lead. He's just 1.1 seconds off of your race leaders. He has done a nice job getting himself back up front here. And it's still Jake Lehman with the fastest lap, but the 4 car is running these guys down. And there's kind of now packs breaking apart a little bit. Green flag stops are going to start very soon. Dave Leclerc on the top there, he's going to start to get shuffled backwards. But everyone's done a nice job getting by the 21 of Marcus Holloway so far. But coming up towards the halfway mark, once they complete next time by, as Jake Lehman gets up past his teammate of Eric Monaco. Lehman up into 4th place, and Simi Javel is here in the 4 car on the bumper of Eric Monaco. Up off of turn 4, next time by, we will officially be halfway done in Kentucky. And I mean, Jenkins has done a nice job. I mean, while we were on that crank it up, Noah Renwick found his way past Jenkins, but then Jenkins got him back about a lap later. So it's showing Jenkins as a fast car. Simi Javel up the inside of Eric Monaco, and here comes Lehman now on Troy Sanderson for third. Looking to get up into third place, and Jake Lehman is through into third place here from Kentucky. Yeah, things have very much calmed down here, as now Simi Javel up the inside. Simi Javel going after Troy Sanderson here into 3 and 4. Coming up on 52 laps to go. And he is up into fourth place, up past Sanderson. And Sanderson's going to drop behind Eric Monaco now as well. So if they pit now, they can make it to the end of the race on a tank of fuel. Obviously, we'll probably see them pit for tires as well so they can be fast, because the tires they've been on since the very start of this race. I think the only drivers who have not been on the same tires is Jace Torrance and the guys who were involved in that wreck, because we saw nobody pit at the front under that first caution flag. Up front, though, Noah Renwick back to the lead. 51 to go in Kentucky. And now Lehman in the 88 car will have a shot to get back up past Christopher Jenkins and try and get back up to second place. Into 3 and 4, Jenkins goes very high, which is signaling to me that maybe someone might be pitting. No, Jenkins just went up. Jenkins is the one pitting. And so is the 08 car, and a lot of our pit stops have started. Oh, Hunter Briscoe and Dandridge got close. What I was talking about, pit stops have now begun. And it got pretty close there for a lot of these guys. And they actually started a lap ago. Riley Maddox coming out of the pits. More stops going to happen as they go super wide and then come in. But it looks like everyone's going to come in here, except Cade Winslow. Winslow stays out. Seth Rollins does as well. So Seth Rollins leading the way here from Kentucky over Cade Winslow. And Aiden Frost, you can see, might have already came into the pits. Yeah, he did. The drivers coming up out of the pits. More stops for the two guys who stayed out there. Seth Rollins and Cade Winslow, they're now in. Christopher Jenkins, it's going to depend here on where these guys come out. Will depend where Jenkins is going to be. There's Renwick. And Jenkins is right here. And Jenkins will come out in front of Renwick after pit stops. All right, merging is going to be not an issue, but it's going to be, well, it might be an issue for these guys as the faster cars catch up. Doesn't look like it, though, as the 2-car of Wyatt Mercer has some right side damage from something. Aiden Frost gained a couple positions. Aiden Frost actually has some damage in the 17 car. What has happened to Aiden Frost? Give him damage. As Jenkins continuing to lead. So here's what happened to Aiden Frost. Wyatt Mercer coming up out of the pits. Frost gets into him, and they both go up into the wall. No caution. Both with pretty heavy right side damage, though. And we're getting on board real quick here from Aiden Frost. Just comes down into Wyatt Mercer. Both go up in a pretty heavy hit to the wall for both of them. Yeah, surprisingly enough, no caution on the track. But Riley Maddox has gone one lap down. The 21 car, Marcus Holloway, has as well gone a lap down in the 21 car. But the field is now pretty much spread out. Jenkins has over a 1 second gap. Coming up on 44 to go here from Kentucky. And if we don't see a caution, I think we could see Jenkins win this race. 44 laps to go. It is the 22. Chase Dandridge has the fastest lap of the night here from Kentucky so far. He's not up anywhere towards the front of this field. not really any battles going. How about YouTube alerts up in the 5th spot? Dave Leclerc, pit stops really help some of these guys. Dave Leclerc running in 7th. Strong run here for him. Eric Monaco dropped back to 9th. Ruben Sparkles now cracking into the top 10. Seth Rollins running 12th. So a lot of Troy Sanders, another big dropper in the pits. 41 team hasn't been really good with their stops this year so far. 16th is where Sanderson runs. Sean Vickers and YouTube alerts battle it out for 5th place. And Vickers should get up and clear him, and he will. But yeah, Jenkins just has been the best car tonight so far. It's shown as he crosses the line. And the gap is still 1.1. They're running about the same lap times. 42 to go. Jake Lehman's right here as well. But if we don't see a caution, I think it's going to be Jenkins winning this race. Just because of the gap he has. But never count a caution out. Because I thought Daytona we weren't going to see a yellow, and you saw what happened there. Seth Rollins going to get back up into the top 10 right here as Blake Arrows gets by, and Seth Rollins is going to get by Ruben Sparkles. So this is the battle for the 10th spot. Arrows up high, Seth Rollins down low. Sparkles will follow Rollins through, though, it looks like. Off of turn 2 and down the back straightaway. Here comes Eric Monaco looking maybe at Caleb Storm for 8th place. Caleb Storm we see running it towards the front. Dave Leclerc trying to get by YouTube alerts right now. Back up front, gap down to a 2nd. So they are gaining on your race leader of Christopher Jenkins. Lehman all over Renwick, though. Can Jake Lehman get by? Simi Javel doing a nice job still running in that 4th position for Red Wave Racing. And there's Dave Leclerc going to get to 6th place as he gets up past that number 08 there. That's YouTube alerts dropping down to 7th. But this 13 as well. Dave Leclerc looking strong here in this final, in the second half of this race right now. And now he can try and run down the 9 of Sean Vickers. Yeah, gap is still down, is now down to a 2nd here as Jenkins is caught Brandon Kessler. He's going to have Marcus Holloway as well just up the road of him, in front of him. But still about 1 second between Jenkins and Renwick. Jenkins started 10th, finished 27th at Daytona. He goes to the inside into 3 and 4 on Kessler. And he's going to make easy work of him. Yeah, no issues for the 32. I think the last thing Christopher Jenkins wants to see here is that caution flag fly. 37 to go. And he has led the most laps tonight by far. And I mean, the top 3 are just running away. Dave Leclerc getting up into the top 5. How about the 13? He's another one of those Blue Oval Performance Group cars. Teammates to Noah Renwick, but it's the Starline Racing number 32. Christopher Jenkins leading the way. But now Dave Leclerc can go after Simi Javel. And that would be the battle for 4th as YouTube alerts battling Sean Vickers for 6th. And here comes Dave Leclerc looking for 4th at Simi Javel. And Leclerc is through up into 4th place. Dave Leclerc looking really fast here in the second half of this race after the pit stop. Kind of stuck by the lap traffic here is Renwick and Lehman. Not at all what they want to see, but Jenkins loves being this. Lehman goes high, Renwick trying to go low. Renwick up the track, could open the door for Lehman maybe, as they're trying to get through this lap traffic up off of turn 4. And across the line, Lehman closing on Renwick, but they lost a 1/10 of a second there to Christopher Jenkins. But we'll go through the Starburst National Tour through the field here from Kentucky tonight so far, with 34 coming up on 33 to go. But, I mean, leading the race, Christopher Jenkins has led all night here, basically from Kentucky. Once he got to the front, he has stayed up here, and no one has really had anything for this 32 car. and right now I think is the favorite to win this race, unless we see a caution. Then you got running just up behind him, Noah Renwick as well, just like that 32 of Jenkins. Renwick has been at the front all night. Started up front, and he's running up front. Really good effort tonight for this 75 car, and is looking strong so far. Just up behind him, Jake Lehman running third. Lehman as well started mid-pack, but he found his way to the front early, and he has basically stayed up front in this 88 car. Hasn't really dropped outside the top 10 tonight so far, and he's looking to continue this run throughout the rest of this race. Then you go back a few positions, few cars, fourth place, Dave Leclerc. Same thing as Lehman, started mid-pack, but Leclerc, ever since making that pit stop, has kind of found some speed that I don't think he knew he had, as Leclerc running faster than your race leaders right now. Then you got running fifth, Simi Javel in that 4 car for Red Wave Racing. I mean, he as well started out in the mid-pack, but he has found his way towards the front here tonight. He's under attack though right now by YouTube alerts. And speaking of YouTube alerts in that 08 car, he's making his first ever start in the series. Didn't run Daytona, didn't even run the battles. First start, and he's battling for a top 5 here tonight from Kentucky right now. Then you got the 9 of Sean Vickers running now 6th, but he's been up front throughout the night as well, and he's still running up in the front. So good effort here for the 9 of Sean Vickers so far under the lights here from Kentucky. And then you got now running in that 8th position, Eric Monaco for Lehman Monaco Motorsports. They have both their cars in the top 10, running very nicely. So it's a great night for him, and a great night for Monaco after coming home runner-up in the Starburst 200. Running 9th, Seth Rollins in the 31. He's had a strong night as well, been up towards the front tonight so far, led a couple of laps, and has kept his car clean so far. And then running out your top 10, you got Caleb Storm, another guy who's been up front majority of the night, and I mean, has done just a nice job keeping his car clean and out of trouble, running in the top 10, trying to stay here. But that's through the field for the top 10. Up front, though, Jenkins has some company. Renwick and Lehman are running him down. And the number 20 car, that's Ali Rain, has the fastest lap of the night in the 20 car. But I mean, ever since that early race wreck, we have not seen a caution. Renwick's gap is dead. It's 3/10 between Jenkins and Renwick with just under 30 to go. 27 laps to be exact left in this race. Dave Leclerc lost about a 10th last time by, but he is running a little bit quicker than your race leaders. He's about 3.6 back. Oh, blowing up Tanner Voss in the 98 car, just in front of your Caleb Wheeler and these guys. Tanner Voss' engine is gone under the hood of the 98 car. Yeah, it's engine damage for the 98 car. Not going to be the way they wanted this race to end for him. And Tanner Voss into the pits, and it's going to be night ending here from Kentucky. And to be exact, what the failure was, it's a ignition failure on the 98 car for Lifeline Racing, that solo car team. It's night ending with just under 30 laps to go. But it's a 3-car race here for the win, unless we get a caution. But we have not seen a caution since lap 7 of this race. But Jenkins continuing to bridge a gap here. 24 laps to go from Kentucky for Christopher Jenkins. He leads over Noah Renwick, who's trying his hardest to close up. Go on board here with the 75 and Noah Renwick as he tries to run down Christopher Jenkins. In the 3 and 4, he's gaining here at the moment. In that 75, coming up off of turn 4, 23 laps to go from Kentucky for Christopher Jenkins. Gap on the line still over 0.3 of a second. As it looks like Jenkins is better through 1 and 2, but Renwick is better through 3 and 4. We see Jake Lehman just up behind the 75 and Noah Renwick. Trying to do what he can to close up and get in this battle as well. 22 laps to go. See Dave Leclerc in the 13 car. He's about now same pace as these leaders. Not really gaining or losing anything. I think if Lehman can find a way past Renwick, he might be able to run down Christopher Jenkins and try and battle for this race lead. I mean, these three cars have been the best three cars all night. 21 to go here in the KFC 160. Renwick trying to go after that 32 of Jenkins, who has led he's led over half of the race, for sure. It has just been that type of night for Christopher Jenkins. But can he hang on and pick up the victory? Coming up off a turn for 20 laps to go. Presented by Sprite here in Kentucky tonight. Renwick is closing under 2/10 as they enter one. Renwick is there. Big run through 1 and 2 for Noah Renwick. Renwick could have a shot here. Coming up on 19 to go. He's there. Into 3 and 4. Jenkins has got to start to feel the pressure by the 75. Up off of turn 4. 19 laps remain here from Kentucky. And Jake Lehman on the bumper and Noah Renwick. Renwick is there and Lehman backs off a little bit. Maybe does he know? Renwick is going for the lead down the back straightaway now. Leclerc starting to drop back to Vickers in the background. That's going to be a battle for 4th in a moment. Oh, Renwick had a moment, a little bit of a checkup through 3 and 4. Could open the door for Jake Lehman if Lehman has the speed to get there. 18 to go. Lehman's going for it. Here comes the 88 car into 1 and 2. But Renwick actually hangs on to the position. Yeah, Vickers is going to have a shot here at Leclerc down the back straightaway, as they're starting to drop off of that lead pack, not really gaining anything. They will have lap traffic soon, but I don't know if they're going to get there in time. Here comes Jake Lehman, going to make the move earlier. Here comes the 88, looking for second with 17 to go. Renwick up the track, Lehman is there. Jake Lehman is up into 2nd place. Off of turn 2, down the back straightaway, they're side by side. Into turns 3 and 4. Lehman is clear. Now 1 car stands in front of him, and that is Christopher Jenkins. 16 to go. Jenkins, Lehman, and Renwick have had the 3 best cars all night. Into 3 and 4. Renwick has kind of dropped off a tiny bit in that 75 car. 15 to go for Christopher Jenkins. Lehman is closing though. Oh, look at the 88 try and close in. A little bit of a checkup though for him. Not exactly what he needed. Yeah, they're going to catch. I think it's going to be Milo Harrington first, because Gavin Slate and Nico Harlan starting to battle it out here. But 14 laps to the checkered flag. Can Christopher Jenkins hold on? Last man of the top 10, Caleb Storm right now in the 3 for Sunburst Racing. But yeah, caution free since lap 7. Only 1 caution tonight. Off of turn 4, Lehman's dropped back a little bit. 13 to go, Christopher Jenkins. And Jenkins has about 0.4 of a second to Lehman behind. Renwick trying to close up in that 75 car. And Dave Leclerc actually gained a 10th the last time by on your leaders, but he's just too far back. I just don't see him getting there. Renwick trying to close back up to the 88. Up off of turn 4. Lehman's starting to struggle maybe a little bit. Has he pushed the tires too much? 12 to go. Gap is nearly half a second between Jenkins and Lehman. I don't think we're going to see another caution. before this race comes to a close. Just by what we've seen tonight so far. 11 laps to go. Christopher Jenkins in a really good position right now over Jake Lehman, and the gap is still about half a second. Lehman was quicker last time by, though. And I mean, Dave Leclerc is still running quicker lap times here than Sean Vickers, so it is looking good right now for them. But I mean, Leclerc and them are closing, but there's just not enough time. Coming up on 10 to go this time by. 10 to go for Christopher Jenkins. Lehman, big run through 1 and 2, though. Off a turn 2, down the back straightaway now. I just don't see another caution happening, so it's going to be a battle here to the checkered. 9 to go. Lehman has closed. 9 to go from Kentucky. Does Jake Lehman have a shot? Well, I mean, he has a shot. Can he get there, though, as Dave Leclerc and them continue to close in? 3.3 the gap between Jenkins and Leclerc. Coming up on 8 laps to go. Off a turn 4 and down the front straightaway. 8 laps to the checkered flag. Jenkins now under 2/10 is Lehman. Coming up on 7 laps to go. Again, Leclerc was quicker. But we know, you don't know if you're going to be back in this position later on this season. You have to try and win this. If you're Jenkins, you have to hang on. But same story with Jake Lehman. You don't know if you're going to be back in this position. 7 laps to go in Kentucky. And Jenkins pulled away a little bit. Put himself a little gap to Lehman behind. Again, Leclerc was quicker, but they're just nowhere near going to get there in time. A caution? Well, actually, no overtime in the Starburst National Tour. You do the race distance, no going over it. 6 laps to go from Kentucky. Jenkins continuing to extend the gap, nearly 3/10 as they enter 1 and 2. Gonna be 5 to go at the line. Renwick is still here. If these two get close and get together, Dave Leclerc continuing to run faster, but he's not going to get there unless there's a caution. But if it's too late of a caution, like under 3 or 4 to go, we're not going back racing. 5 laps to go. Jenkins continuing to hold the gap at a good distance. Renwick is closing up on Lehman. And for once, Dave Leclerc was not quicker than your leaders. Into 3 and 4, 4 laps to go. But I think once they hit 3 to go, all Christopher Jenkins wants to see is a caution or the white flag. 3 laps to go, next time by. 4 to go in Kentucky. Lehman is 2/10 back. He's got to go now. As YouTube Alert's going to drop back here behind Seth Rollins and Simi Javel. Off of turn 2. Into 3 and 4 your leaders go. Renwick is all over Lehman. Renwick could have a shot here if he can get by. 3 laps to go for Christopher Jenkins. Lehman trying to close, has momentum. They might catch Riley Maddox, but I don't know if they will. There's Maddox coming up on 2 to go. Where can Lehman go? He just doesn't have the speed. 2 laps to go for Christopher Jenkins. 3 miles to go in Kentucky. All right, well, where do you go now? You have a car in front of you, Riley Maddox. Here comes Renwick with momentum. Next time by, they'll see the white flag. Into 3 and 4. Jenkins looking to the inside of Maddox. Can't quite get there. This is going to allow Lehman and Renwick to maybe get there. Off of turn 4, the white flag is waving one more time around Kentucky for Christopher Jenkins. Into 1 and 2 for the final time. Oh, yep, that's done it. They're not going to get there to Christopher Jenkins unless he makes a big mistake down the backstretch for the final time. No, Lehman and Renwick are not there. Into turns 3 and 4. Christopher Jenkins for Skittles. And the 32 for Starline Racing is going to victory lane. Jenkins wins in Kentucky. Dominant performance. Jake Lehman second place for Lehman Monaco Motorsports. Noah Renwick finishes off the top 3. Dave Leclerc comes home in the 4th position. For Blue Oval Performance Group, Sean Vickers rounds out your top 5. Seth Rollins, YouTube Alerts, Eric Monaco, Simi Javel, and Ethan Crow round out your top 10 here tonight from Kentucky. What a race. And what a green flag run. I mean, we did nearly 100 laps of green flag racing there to the checkered flag. What an effort. And your results are on the left-hand side of your screen. Christopher Jenkins picks up the win in Kentucky. Second race of the season in the books. Jake Lehman second. Noah Renwick rounding out your top 3. Dave Leclerc, Sean Vickers, Seth Rollins, YouTube Alerts, Eric Monaco, Simi Javel, and Ethan Crow your top 10, which we said before. Then you've got Troy Sanderson, Caleb Storm, Ryder Holt, Cade Winslow, Caleb Wheeler your top 15. Jace Torrance, who got involved in that first wreck of the night, finishes 16th. Allie Rain, Tiger Tom, Blake Garrows, and Jet Rolland your top 20. Then you got Tyler Carroll, Chase Dandridge, Jasper Quinn, Ruben Sparkles, Hunter Briscoe, your top 25. Marissa Semethi, Wyatt Mercer, Jordan Pike, Zane Mercer, and then it is Logan Hart, your top 30. Eli Drayton, Aiden Frost, Nico Harland, Gavin Slate, Milo Harrington, your top 35, and the drivers on the lead lap. Then you got Brandon Kessler, Phoenix Calder, Riley Maddox, Marcus Holloway, finishing 1 to 2 laps down, and then Tanner Voss, the only retirement tonight with an ignition failure in the end of the race. But yeah, that will do it from Kentucky. We'll get the standings up on your screen in a moment. Alrighty, after Kentucky and heading into Bristol, the point standings are Eric Monaco leading the point standings by 1 point over Noah Renwick, 3 points to Seth Rollins. Jake Lehman jumps up 13 positions and now officially sits 4th, 9 points back. Cade Winslow as well, 9 points back. But the biggest mover in the standings would be Christopher Jenkins, jumping up 19 positions after Daytona and after Kentucky. So Christopher Jenkins up into officially the 8th position in the point standings. Another big jumper, Sean Vickers, goes all the way from 39th to 21st as he jumped 18 spots. YouTube Alerts as well jumped 16 spots from 41st to 25th. But that is it from Kentucky. And we will have our first short track race at Bristol next time out. But we will see you then heading into Bristol.